Now we're going to look at the SUMIF and the SUMIFS functions, which basically sum cells based on certain conditions. We'll start with the SUMIF function here. Let's say we wanted to find the total number of revenue for our two branches that we have in this data, the Scranton branch and the Nashua branch. Start by typing equals SUMIF, and you can see by this little prompt that the first thing that we need to give the function is the range. This is the range that we want to look for our criteria in. So in this case, we'll select the branch column right there. Note that you could select the specific cells, cells E1 through E803, but I prefer to just select the whole column just in case we end up adding data to the bottom of our data. Next, press a comma, and the next thing that you need to give this function is the criteria, or what you want to look for. In our case here, we can just select this cell that contains the Scranton name, or you could also type Scranton in quotation marks. That would work as well, but if you select the cell, then you can pull formulas down to make it a bit easier. Criteria of this formula is the sum range, or the range that you actually want to add up. So we'll select this column K right here, and then press enter. We'll format our number real quick to make it a little bit easier. And we see that Scranton did $371,390 of revenue. We can come over here to our data and double check that we did that right. So let's filter for only Scranton. And if we select column K, down here in the status bar, we see that 371,390 again. So it looks like our formula worked. Because we set this up in a cell, we can actually come down here and it will now reference the Nashua branch as well. So that's the SUMIF function. The SUMIFS function does the same thing that a SUMIF does, but you can add multiple criteria. Let's look at just one criteria to go over the example that we just used. So we want to find the total revenue for the Scranton branch. We'll type equals SUMIFS. The challenge with SUMIFS and versus SUMIF is they have slightly different syntax. In the SUMIFS function, the first thing that you give this function is the range that you want to sum. So we'll come here and select column K right there. And then the next thing that we give this function is the criteria range, which is going to be the cells that you want to find your criteria in. So again, we'll select this branch column and press a comma, and the criteria is going to be Scranton. We'll hit enter and we get that same 371,390. And we can pull this down and we get Nashua. Now you'll notice that SUMIF and SUMIFS gave us the same answer. Because of that reason, I never use the SUMIF function, just because the SUMIFS function does the same thing, but is a bit more powerful, as we'll see next. So you might see the SUMIF function every now and then, so it's helpful to know that it exists. It's also helpful to understand that the order of the columns is slightly different for the functions, but my advice is to always stick with the SUMIFS function because it will do the exact same thing as the SUMIF, but gives you more flexibility. So let's look at using the SUMIFS function for something where you have more than one criteria. Let's say that we wanted to find all of the revenue for the sales rep of Jim based on the item type. We have paper, printer, and scanner here. So we'll type equals SUMIFS, select the sum range, which will be this total amount right here, press a comma. Then we have criteria range 1. Because we have multiple variables here, we'll need to keep track of which ranges we're choosing for our criteria. So the first criteria range is going to be this sales rep column right here. We'll press a comma, and then we'll select Jim as the sales rep right there. Press a comma again, and you'll notice that it adds some optional criteria here. Specifically, we're going to give this function criteria range 2 now. So for that, we'll select this item type column because we want to look for paper, printer, and scanner. press a comma, and then for the second criteria, we'll select this cell for paper. You'll notice that with the SUMIFS function, you can keep going with various criteria ranges and criteria. As a matter of fact, you can use up to 127 criteria ranges and criteria. I don't know why you would want to do that, but that's the limit. So if we press enter, we get this amount of revenue right here, $160,915. We can pull this down. We'll pull this down to the scanner line. And now we've got all of Jim's revenue by item type. Now, those of you who are familiar with pivot tables might say, I could get the same information from a pivot table, which is exactly right. And most often, if I need to get detail like this, I'll create a pivot table to get the detail. But I've found that setting up reports or doing just quick searches for information using the SUMIFS function can be really helpful. It's especially helpful if you set up your spreadsheet where the criteria is referencing cells. So now if we wanted to see what Dwight did in paper, we can easily see that. This last example right here is showing a P with an asterisk. In Excel, there are what's called wildcards, which basically are characters that stand for a certain number of characters. Particularly, the asterisk stands for one or more characters. So if we pull our formula down right here, it's looking for any time we see a sales rep of Jim. And then for the item type, it's looking for something that starts with a P and then has any number of characters that follows after it. In our example here, we have paper, printer, and scanner. Those are our item types. So what this is in essence doing is it's pulling in all of the paper and the printer items into this one sum. As a matter of fact, we can select these two items right here, and it matches with that 194,715. I bring this up to show you that you can use wildcards in your formulas to make them more powerful if you're looking for not just one specific criteria.